My first thought is we beat a well-coached, well-disciplined, veteran team that has great poise. I think they're a really good basketball team. I thought our guys kind of hung in there through a kind of a quirky game. It was a tough game for our post players because of the way they play and how their post players step away from the basket and make threes. And we went small. We had to adjust and change kind of the way that we traditionally like to play. But I thought our guys did a nice job of hanging in there. They executed their offense late in the game when we had to. We got good shots. The small lineup helped us defend them better, and now they didn't get as many open looks from the three-point line, which I thought they did against us when we had our big guys in there. So, it was a game that had it was like a chess match, back and forth, a lot of things happening within the game. I thought our guys did a nice job of just hanging in there and fighting through all that, and fighting through some fouls and foul calls and trouble. And so ended up being a good win for our team.
Is it best of both worlds for you in that your team shows resiliency to hang on when they go 6 of 11 from 3,
Right.
but then you can go back to the table and say, hey, you guys got up to a nice lead. Don't do these things to let it go away.
Yep. Well, here's what happened. First of all, they didn't shoot the ball very well in the first half. And I'm not sure a lot of that was because of our defense. They had good shots, just didn't make them. So at halftime, we felt like as a staff, they're probably not going to go the whole game and keep missing shots. They're going to make shots. We got to do a better job of defending them. The hard thing was for us, even starting the half with BJ and Leonard in the game, they've got one guy at about 6'3", and then the 6'9" guy is really probably the best three-point shooter on the team. And we had a hard time of staying with him. BJ, that's just foreign territory for him. He's out there trying to run around, trying to guard that guy. And so, even though we lost the lead, our guys had poise. They hung in there. A couple late game situations where we had to score, they did. Trevor stepped up, made big shots. Cat had a couple nice drives, Ralston as well. And, they showed that, we got something to us a little bit. So, we'll see. I don't know for sure. I don't have a crystal ball, but that's a good basketball team. And all those guys are veteran players for them. I think number 2 and number 3, if they have good years, could end up both in the top 5 in the history of their conference as far as scoring averages or most points scored. So that's a veteran, team that's won a lot of games.
You think the kind of games you've been in lately will help you in March?
Probably. Now here's what you hope. You hope that you're not on the bubble. We seem to live on the bubble, but if you end up in a conversation where your team is getting compared to other teams, games like tonight, Hofstra, Richmond, we got a bunch coming up. Obviously, those games all end up being in your favor. Because I have a hard time thinking that Boise State's going to go win 10 or 12 games this year. I think they're going to win 18, 20, 25 games, as is most of the other teams we play on our schedule. So it's going to help us become a better team. Tough games like this make you learn, really, who needs to do what and how do we need to play and who can really defend and who understands what we're doing and how we're going to get a rebound with a small lineup. There's so many different things that you learn when the game is close. You learn. You get a 25-point win, you don't learn as much. You feel good, you walk out and get in the car and go home, but you don't learn as much about your team. So we're learning right now about our team, and we're learning where we've got to get a lot better and go from there.
Coach, your assessment of what you saw from Lacey in the final couple minutes?
I think I know him as well as anybody. Watched him in high school. I watched him play for Alabama. He's made more big shots at big times than most anybody I've ever been around. It's interesting. I've just watched it happen, so it doesn't surprise me. He stepped up when our team needed him to and had 2 baskets I thought that were really big. 2 huge baskets. Thought Cat had a couple drives, Ralston made some big ones, but I thought Trevor stepped up and delivered at the right time for our team tonight.
I guess 2 things. Are you happy with the balance he's striking of making the right play and maybe being assertive in the second half. And
Yeah, here's what was happening tonight, and I'm probably at fault with this a little bit with Trevor. We wanted the ball to go inside so much. We felt like we had an advantage. The only way that we could play in a game like this tonight with BJ and Kyle and Leonard and Malik is if offensively, if we're getting the advantage. Because defensively, we're not. They're going to be a hard team for us to guard with our big guys chasing their big guys all around the three-point line. So we wanted the ball inside so much. And I probably emphasized that too much. And I think Trevor and even early in the game, we were just a little bit more tentative on the perimeter. And I thought Trevor didn't look for his shot enough. And that's maybe my fault tonight. But he does have great balance with it. I want him to be aggressive. He needs to score for our team. He needs to handle the ball a lot. He needs to do a lot for our team. But he made the shots what he needed to tonight, and that was important.
I guess in those late game situations, are you calling as many plays, or do you kind of trust him to make a right read, or is it a little?
Well, we called some, and they ended up switching on our. We called a play on that last one, the shot he hit across from our bench. They ended up switching, and then he recognized it and had the big guy on him. And at that point, that was he made a great decision, I thought, to get a good shot, an on-balance shot, not a fadeaway or a desperation type shot, but to come out of there with just a nice, good, solid jab step, jump shot, big play, and but that was him recognizing that.
You guys are off to, the program is off to the best start, I think, in like the last 10 years at 6-0. I mean, does that say anything about where you want this program, where it is today? I know it's early, but still, it's
not really. Not really. We got a long way to go. We got a lot of good teams to play. So yes, we have won some games. That's nice. But we start here getting pretty quick now. We got Purdue, then Wake Forest right after that, an ACC game. And really, if you look down through the rest of our non-conference schedule, there's really not very many nights, or maybe any, that you're just going to relax and think you're going to win. So we've got a long way to go. I like where our team is heading. I love our chemistry. Our guys really cheer for each other. They're pulling for each other hard, and they recognize, like tonight, it's a hard game for BJ and some of our big guys, but he's cheered and he's happy in the locker room, not pouting because he didn't get the ball or all those kind of things. Or he sees it and recognizes we had to play a little different tonight. So I like that about our team. We got a good group of guys. Hopefully that's going to be a real strength for our team.
As good of a grasp as you have of the RPI and kind of the national picture, the ACC Big Ten Challenge, how much does kind of what the whole big picture happens matter? Like, because you guys have been on the bubble the last 3 years, and how that can impact how things really play out?
Well, I don't know that the Big Ten Challenge with the ACC, it just gives us another really good game. But we're going to play a lot of them anyway, regardless of that. I do think there's some pride involved for our league. I think our league needs to do better than we've done. We need to do better. But it's a good game for us to go on the road. I think Purdue is going to be a little bit better than where people projected them. And it's going to be a great challenge for us. But I like playing good teams. I like playing, I don't want to play teams that's just going to beat 40 or 50 points. That doesn't help our team. So games like tonight, game like Purdue, Louisiana Tech, Wofford's got everybody back from an NCAA tournament team coming up. This team tonight, Boise, they're good. They're a well-coached basketball team. That's a good team we beat tonight. So all those games combined, they're going to help our team get better, and hopefully they're going to help us in the RPI as well.
Coach, kind of expand on that. How eager are you to see what State can do in Mackey Arena, first road game?
I've taken a few teams in there. Tough place to play. Be loud, great environment. I think our guys are anxious for it, to be honest. They want to go and get tested, challenged away from here. They're ready. They want that. So we're going to play a good team. They got size, a couple guys over 7 foot that are pretty good. So anyway, there ain't no easy ones left, and that's going to be tough, but our guys will be anxious to play up there.